wish that you had an instruction manual for all those insignificant moments in your life? Somewhere that answers the questions you've always thought but never bothered to ask? Welcome to Patchwork is here to help you navigate the nuances of everyday interactions, and today we'll be teaching you how to record a podcast. So grab your knitting needles and a blanket because it's time for three old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of life. So join me, Dion, under the covers with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork. Here we are, we're back.
We are back.
It's been a really, really long time. We are so excited. Season 7 is here.
Season 7.
What a start.
I miss Steven.
He's the new fourth member of the team, Steven 7. He's going to be here with us. But yeah, it's so exciting. It has been quite a long time since we recorded. We released a bit of an update around that, but we're super excited. You would see the new artworks out there. We've had a lot of good changes, and we've also got some really exciting stuff, just tweaking the formula a bit of the show.
Yeah. And the content won't change at all.
No.
What we've done is
repackaged.
we've repackaged the same content.
That's right. It's a gift that we've given away again and sold for nothing.
And also, we've realised that our seasons don't really mean anything.
No, they don't, but seasoning does, and that's what we'll be talking about in this episode.
I'm very excited though, and also it's 101 obviously. So what we thought we'd do with 101 in this auspicious occasion is to take a bit of a look back to episode 1, patch 1, the very first one.
Yeah.
So today we're going to have a bit of a look back, bit of a reminisce, and also just reassess and hey, if we approach the same topics today, how different would it be?
Because 5 years on, things are bound to change, right?
Yeah.
I re-listened to patch 1, and it's unbelievable how much I feel I've grown personally. And I don't know whether that growth is a positive or a negative, but I've certainly changed from the way that I was.
So whereabouts is the growth? What part of your body?
And we should probably mention as well that if you are new to this podcast, don't listen to this episode. This is not the first. Don't listen to 101 and don't listen to 1.
What's not bad
Go
though?
smack back 50. Like 50 is the one to go to. Now, 1 starts slow, but God, it gets good at the end.
Well, we'll be talking about that today. So get a bit of a sense of how we went.
Just thinking about those first 100 episodes, though, is there anything that has stuck on you that people come up to you and say, hey, that's the thing that I remember you for, or that was surprising to hear? Because for me personally, I'm so surprised that the one thing people always raise is how I don't wash my socks every day.
Really?
Similarly, the one that's followed me a bit is washing of the towels.
Unbelievable,
Interesting.
right?
I get called a bucktooth cunt all the time.
But yeah, I think that's obviously really good. It's been quite huge from the start, from the get-go. And we got some vintage really good at the end of the show today.
Yes.
But I think the cleaning of the towels is one that I think the thing that people are most disgusted with, that's what they'll latch onto by the sounds of it.
Yeah, and especially because, I don't know, there was this kind of sense at the start that I was a little bit cleaner, and then that really shattered everyone's reality.
It's because you smell so good. You'd expect someone who smells good to be clean, but they're quite incongruous because you're filthy.
I really need podcasts to become listener, like smell-o-vision, but for audio.
It will happen. And I think Apple is developing something like that. It'll be on subscription.
I think that's season 8. That's season 8.
You scratch and sniff the album artwork.
Oh, wow.
And your foot.
Yeah.
But to kick us off, now, I think the very, very first thing we did in patch 1 was Dion. You introduced us.
I did. And when I introduced you both, I had absolutely no plan. And that's the genius of me, isn't it? That I came up with, and I think I said something like, in fact, have we got the clip?
No.
Oh, okay. That's funny. Have we got the clip? But I think I said, Josh, you're wearing a Lana Hill, which was
joke.
the only... good joke. But I
Only
guess,
one of the show.
Yeah, only one of the show. And then I think I introduced Christian and failed to introduce myself, which actually, if I hadn't said that now, I would have done it again. So I'm Dion, and with me is Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork.
Now, Christian is wearing a lovely grey number 36,
Yes.
I think it is. That's a little joke, a little pun there. So we really have developed, haven't we? And Josh is wearing a red, sort of a burgundy, lovely burgundy shirt.
But it is interesting. Well, let me say, and Dion is wearing a lovely yellow jumper.
Well, there are a lot of platitudes here.
Yeah.
We're not always lovely clothes.
No,
okay?
Actually, let's Josh's
I don't
shirt.
love Josh's
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
It's got too many buttons, too much detail.
It's very 2008, that shirt. Because
is.
it's no, listen.
Bought it 3 years ago.
Listen, Josh, it's a beautiful shirt, but the little...
Stop there. Thank you.
What's so Chris?
For me, it's the white stitching. So Josh, what it is? It looks like a Christmas shirt, right?
Yeah. Sorry, the white stitching. What about the brass bit on above Josh's heart that says Best Boy?
That's the brand.
It says Best Boy.
You know what?
No. That's not a brand.
Yes, it is.
No, that
in Egypt it is. So thank you very much.
And thinking about Egypt, we remembered one of Josh's most popular sketches amongst Josh and Josh alone, Solomar Pioneers.
Oh, I was going to say
Pioneers.
Tales from Tasmania, but that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, Solomar Pioneers. It was quite a trip, quite a journey down.
Yeah, but Best Boy. Josh is our best boy.
He is our best boy. And then I think we moved on to discussing something that's really permeated all 6 seasons
It has,
of
actually,
varying
yeah.
lengths they are. And it was me and haircuts.
I think that chit chat at a hairdresser is the least important thing. I don't want to talk when I'm there.
But you
at
have
all.
to. But you have to.
It's just another situation where I'm put in where I have to think of new things to talk about. I've got
Yeah.
enough of those interactions during the day.
Back then, I had Dale as my hairdresser. I moved to Finn. I then moved to Ryan. Gave a great haircut. I was really, really happy with Dale and Finn. Their chit-chat was great. Haircuts were good. Chit-chat was great. Ryan, couldn't get anything out of him.
No chit-chat.
Just nothing. What are you doing? I was initiating the chit-chat.
Well, you know what this sounds like?
That's a blessing for me.
Christian wants Ryan.
Oh, check out Ryan.
The issue is,
Yeah.
I've got no hair to cut anymore.
Christian's got no hair.
I've got no hair to
Because
cut.
I was going to ask, has your attitude towards the chit-chat changed?
It hasn't, and it's a blessing going bald because I don't have to be put in that position anymore.
Is that arguably the best thing about going bald?
Yes. To be honest,
There must be
hairdressers.
quite the list, though, isn't there?
to be honest, it has been. So this is the interesting thing, right? Like I remember 5 years ago, 2017, I was thinking I'm going to grow my hair long, I'm going to tie it back. Then I had the hairdresser tell me, you know what? You've lost the chance.
Oh.
It's all got to, in 2020.
Play the sting.
They told me I didn't have a chance anymore. I had to take it all off. And since then, it's only been great things.
Josh, have
Yeah,
you
right.
had a development in the haircut space?
Well, yeah, because it started off quite ironically. Like we spoke about haircuts and stuff, and I was notoriously a long-haired woman back in the early days. And then that's evolved again, the haircuts and stuff. And now the little bald patch, that's become a feature.
Yes.
And that's been weighing on me a bit.
Josh, what do we call that little bald patch?
I don't know, what do we call it?
Little friar tuck.
The fry tuck.
Wow.
Which a hairdresser said that to me once. I was like, and I didn't really get it when he said it. And then
That's
when
funny.
I left, I was like, that is awful and
It is an
rude and
awful-
disgusting.
Wait. thing to say.
I get the tuck bit. What's the first bit?
Friar
Friar.
tuck.
What's Friar?
Robin Hood? Literally the character in Robin Hood that had the top
Oh
of his
my
head shaved.
God.
Yeah. And the rest around the edge, yeah.
Oh, but that makes casting easier, doesn't it, for you?
So I paid him $40 for that. That was good.
Wow. And then the haircut.
Yeah. But recently though, Dion, because you obviously put me on to Dale, famously put me on to Dale.
Yeah.
And you know, you famously put me onto someone else recently.
Yeah, and Finn he went to Tassie, and that's why I had to move on, and it sucks. Did you get a haircut with him?
And then I did, but then most recently, I got a haircut for the promo shots we did.
Oh.
And what was your recommendation? It was Joe.
Joe.
And I went to Joe.
How was Joe?
How was Joe?
Oh, that's amazing.
You went to Joe?
Oh, yeah. This is incredible.
I thought I'd follow through with the traditional idea of this podcast.
Beautiful.
Of taking up Dean's recommendation. Joe was great.
Hang on a second. Dion?
Oh, come on.
Come on, mate. It's been 100.
Hang on. You've got a bone to pick with Josh about the pronunciation of my name. God, we've come far.
Yeah.
We're so much more unified now.
Dion.
right.
It's Dion.
I'm doing it right, mate. Anyway, so Joe, I did enjoy the chat and it was a good level of it.
Yep.
Floated in, floated out.
Yep.
Most interesting thing I found out about Joe when he was younger, he used to drink heaps of Coca-Cola.
That was the chit chat.
We
Really?
got there. Yeah, I can't remember how we got there.
Do you know what I love about Joe? He just loves talking about footy. He's a big Western Bulldogs
Didn't
fan.
touch footies once.
Are you kidding me?
No.
It's all the paraphernalias everywhere. You know what the disarming thing about Joe is? Joe has hair that is curly and slicked and in a knot in the back. And when you sit down in that chair, you're like, Christ.
I'm going to end up with curly slick back hair.
No, but you're like, that's a look, and is that not that all I can do?
It's like any product, and you're like, oh, maybe not.
You want me to slick it back?
But also, I've really tried with Joe to get an interesting haircut out of him, but it always comes back to short back and sides. And he does like footballers' haircuts. And footballers have
Can
weird
you ask
haircuts.
for that?
Well, that's a
Ask for the
good
footballer's
point.
haircut.
Dion, I feel like this has been a theme for the last 100 episodes is your desire to
know.
have an adventurous haircut.
I know.
But when you're in that seat, you just say, give me a short back. Give me the same.
No, I'm like, leave it up to you. I'll leave it up to you, Joe. But then I'm like,
Dude, your
No.
hair has not changed
I know.
at all.
And
That's
we've
not
established
great.
you can't leave it up to the hairdresser because they're not going to take a risk unless you specifically say, you know what? Give me a mullet.
yeah. Or maybe you have to name drop those extreme
Name drop?
extreme
So,
hair.
I met Mullet the other day. Oh! But you're Chris. You've had the biggest change, obviously, with the shave.
Yes.
But I think it's all been positive feedback. It's all been great for you.
You
So-
look
Yes.
beautiful. How
Thank
are you
you.
finding it's a dream scenario.
It
Not
is.
in winter, but
So there was a moment after it happened where I was feeling very vulnerable, and not just because I was exposed to the cold on my skull for the first time, but one of my housemates come up to me and it was a very quick glance and said, your head suits being shaved.
lovely. Perfect.
And I was like, there it is. I'll be fine with this then.
You're right.
Perfect.
That's the key word. Your head.
Yes.
Your head is good for it.
Yes.
And I've got no idea what mine would do.
You know what, Josh? There's only one way to find out.
I'm not there yet.
Season 8.
I'm clinging on.
Season 8, Patchwork goes bald. There is one little development that I've had that I've always wanted to do. I went to the dentist at 7:30 in the morning and forgot to do my hair. And I think we might have raised this. I look like a young Romanian boy.
Yes.
When I don't put product in my hair. So what I did was I came out of the dentist. It was like 8:30. A hairdresser was open. I was like, I need to get product. I don't want to buy $40 of product for one thing. And I went in there and I said, do you mind? I forgot to I'm in a hurry. I've got a meeting. Do you mind if I grab a little bit of product and put in my hair? And the guy was lovely. He was absolutely lovely. I've always wanted to do that. But then I felt obligated to ask him how much the haircut was. And he said $60, which is a lot for a guy. And I went, oh. And it was such a shit reaction because he'd been so nice to me. And then I'd given him a shit look for $60.
But you got what you want.
But yeah,
You're never going back.
Nah, I'm never going back. Oh, just for a little dollop of product, maybe.
It would be funny if you went to the dentist and walked in and was like, listen, I've got a meeting. Do you mind if I just have a quick brush?
Toothbrush.
So, Christian,
Yes.
what was the last time you remember the chit chat? When were you getting good chit chat or bad chit chat?
Well, that's the thing, right? I've never enjoyed chit-chatting with any service provider. But since COVID, it's given me, I have a sense of relief now going anywhere because I've got a fallback conversation. It was
Yes.
always the pressure to have something prepared, something up my sleeve. On the week, how was your weekend? You love drinking Coca-Cola. But if all falls flat, how's business going since COVID?
Bone to pick with Christian.
I got a bone to pick.
You can't go talking to business owners about COVID. They're having that conversation all the time.
But that's if they want the chit chat, Christian's got that in the chamber ready to go.
everyone's got that in the chamber. The chamber's full of COVID.
Which is what he's saying is great.
It's ready to burst.
I don't listen. I go in there and I hope for no conversation. Just like when you go into a taxi or an Uber, you try. If you want to have the complex conversation, you can try to elevate it, but you always have the fallback. How's today been?
Yeah, something simple.
yeah.
And I
Long
know
shift.
That, I've been working since X time. Great, right? We got something to work off.
What was the last business you used the COVID chat in? Because I've been using it a lot. I've been doing some work for the Australian Electoral Commission recently. So sitting around chatting with a lot of new people, COVID chat's a really good fallback in that situation.
is, right?
You got nothing else to talk about? Have you had it yet? Anyone you know had it?
Yep. But then you can learn so much about them from that. Well, my partner had it. She works at let's talk about that.
Yep.
It's a great. Do you know what?
COVID's the new
COVID's
footy.
the best. COVID's the best thing that's ever happened. Because you also, I thought that it would be short-lived, the COVID excuse, but I am still milking that excuse for all it's worth.
So you're happy. So you're happy with the variants.
More strains, more variants. I was happy when monkeypox came around. I was like, oh yes,
That's an extra half hour. Yes.
a new animal.
So one of the other things that we talked about as well in episode 1, in patch 1, was about bullying. And so we had a few different things. So I was the long-haired woman, so I got teased for my long hair.
Yep.
Dion with his teeth, and I think we have a clip from that.
Christian, what was your number
What was your
one
physical
thing?
feature that you got picked on for?
Hair, teeth.
Weight.
So much more. I feel it's so much more brutal than the others. But how's that? Has that developed in the last 5 years?
I was hoping we're not going to go into our weight. That's ridiculous.
No, but we're talking about back. This is back at school. Back at school. Because ironically now, the long-haired woman stuff's faded, but now the bald is coming in.
Yeah. Well, your insecurities change as time goes on, right? I've found that as I've settled into being an adult, the insecurity about being a larger gentleman, and I don't think, I think I've had to have people over the years say, you're not.
Repeatedly.
It's just body dysmorphia at the end of the day. But even I think that over time you just start to get a little bit more comfortable with, well, this is who I am. This is the shape of my body. But then as you become an adult, more insecurities creep in, like, have I picked the right vocation, and will I have enough money to support myself when I get older?
Yeah.
Those kind of insecurities I feel press way more than what do I look like?
Yeah, I was going to say, what would you prefer? Like a physical thing like that, or a more damning whole life insecurity?
Oh, God. Yeah, but I don't know. Have you felt, Dion, 5 years have passed, right? In those 5 years, it's only 5 years, but also insecurities change.
Do you know what I was thinking when I thought about this thought, what is my biggest insecurity? And it came up a couple of years ago when someone at work said your t-shirt is too short.
You think you've got a short?
And I'd realized, and so I've been coming to terms. I have no idea my proportions. Like in terms of, I think my proportions are okay. Like in terms
Shocking,
of
isn't it?
My proportions.
No.
No, Christian, you're gonna make me cry. But I've never really worried. I've never worried about how long my legs are, my torso. I've always been sort of shortish.
Great. I've never worried about how long my legs are.
No, I've never needed. I've never I feel like I'm pretty standard. But then, when I started to look in the mirror and I bought all these t-shirts, it wasn't my torso that was the problem. It was the t-shirts, and then recognizing that I wear my pants too low as well.
Really?
Just need to wear them. Just fucking up.
Yeah, I've been wearing my belt tighter and tighter these days because I'm like, this, even though it just sags a little bit, I'm like, it feels too loose.
And it's a bad look. And the best way to check out
for
your
people
gait,
our age.
Yeah, for people our age, best way to check out your gait, walk down the street, look at the reflection in the windows of shops, and just check out your gait a bit, and you're like, just pull up your pants. I'm telling myself to pull up my pants like a headmaster would have told me when I was being called a BTC.
I just don't think there's enough education about the right clothes to wear, because we're all told that you go to a shop, you buy jeans and a t-shirt, and that's it, right? But ultimately, there's different cuts of jean, Dion.
Yeah, there are.
Jean?
Well, that's the thing.
Is that the singular?
But apparently, skinny jeans are not happening anymore. I love skinny jeans. Skinny jeans are great. I can't move in them, but they're great.
But it's less about the cut of the leg. You're talking about how high it rises on your waist.
Oh, that I have no idea.
But that's what I mean, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, as well as t-shirts, we're all expecting that off-the-shelf t-shirts are just going to fit. But I think I've got quite a short torso.
I don't think you've got a short torso. I think it's a delightful torso.
Average block torso.
Do you know what's your torso like?
I think my proportions, I find my clothes tend to fit pretty well.
No. I asked you, what's your torso like?
I've
had no complaints.
I've been quite happy. I was thinking the insecurities and stuff. Going to buy clothes, sometimes I'm like, I don't think I'm cool enough. And I have that in my head about it. Oh. So then I just want to ask people. I'm like, just, you go for it. I don't have a good sense of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm insecure. I'm like, I don't know what looks good on me. I think I do a pretty good job at the end of the day. But all often I'm like, you tell me. You tell me.
Do you know what Josh should look good in? A wide-brimmed hat. Like a felt,
God.
No, I know.
I could not pull that off.
No, I know there's a lot of guys out there that have their no socks and have their little boat shoes and stuff, but I reckon Josh could... you'd want to give him too much shit for it, though.
I think Josh would look good in anything. We've discussed this before.
Come
He's
on.
just got
Thanks,
but he has
guys.
the frame for it, but I don't think anyone looks good in a wide-brimmed hat.
Yeah,
unless
that's true.
you're a cowboy.
The other thing that I've realized, particularly around new people.
Or you're being sun smart.
By the way, if you are a cowboy, hit us up on social media. We'd love to hear from you.
God, cowboys are sun smart.
The other thing I've realized, being around new people a lot, I feel I'm very comfortable around my friends and I've kind of got that settled. That feels pretty good. But around new people, I get so concerned if I'm like using a tool or using something that I've never used before. I feel like all eyes are on me and I just drop my
Like
load.
what?
A pallet jack, which I know how it works, but it doesn't work. I'm like, everyone's staring at me. Any sort of, or like, there's some new computer thing or something like a touch screen and you're unfamiliar with it and you're trying to do it and you're like, hang on. Like, that's what the other thing, microwave. I was trying to get like the time and stuff.
I tell you what, microwaves nowadays, there's one at work, I'm just like, I have no idea how to use it.
I don't understand the order of the buttons. It's like, I want
Yeah.
to change the power and the time.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going, meep, meep.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me work.
How is this a universal if all three of us are agreeing on this, microwave manufacturers, get your shit together.
Yeah. Listen
it's
up.
not working for us.
I would have thought you hit power button, then the number of the power. You hit time button, then the number of the time, and then you hit
You know
go.
what? It's about
really?
time they got a little LCD screen. Or it's just something that gives me a menu. Give me a
Oh, no, Christian, you're so wrong because what I love is like a thin film of plastic that slowly wears away. I mean, that's great. Now, obviously, in Welcome to Patchwork, we always play little games and stuff. And one of the very first games we did was called Monotoly. And the point of Monotoly was to be the most dull and boring kind of conversation. It's the kind of thing that if you're at a dinner party or something telling a story, or someone else is telling a story, and you're like, there's no story here.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. This was boring. It was a waste of an anecdote. So that was kind of the setup for Monotoly. We thought, that'll be fun for people to listen to.
Isn't that the worst feeling, though, when you realize 3/4 of the way through the story?
Yeah.
Well, because you know what it is? It's someone says their story, it's got a tiny link to you, and you go, I'm good on this. This thing happened today.
Yes.
But you know what? 3/4 in, what about if it gets to the end and there's no story? That's a ridiculous situation. You're listening to someone explain something, a whole story, and you're like,
and then you're expecting them to carry on, or then you pick up the thread.
That's where you have to be an active listener and you engage and realize this is a shit story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you
Move
you
on,
Try
or
to pick. You try
You
to
put
move
the
it
salt
on
and pepper
for them.
on top.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta
So what
get
we
this.
thought we'd do is we'll do Monotoly again.
Yeah. So this is in the first episode. We were at a bank, right?
Safe to say, the reason we stopped Monotoly is because people asked us to.
Hi. Are you on duty, teller?
Yep.
You are. Okay.
Yep.
Quick question.
Yes.
I am going overseas in 3 days.
Yes.
And I need to change some money.
Sure. I wouldn't do that at a bank normally. But I can give you a list. Are you looking for currency exchange?
Yeah. What did you think I was looking for?
Are you trying to do that at a bank?
Yeah.
Yep. We don't offer that service here, but there are.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, do you mind if I just... Are you done, sir?
No, but go.
Oh, look, I'm going overseas in 4 days.
Yes.
And I was just hoping to take some of these Turkish lira
Yes.
and convert them to Australian dollars.
Yes.
Please.
Yep. Thank you. So you've got 300 Turkish lira here.
Yeah, I
The
think
exchange rate's current. So this is what we can give.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm actually talking to the teller right now. Excuse
Yeah,
me,
but
sir.
my
Thank you.
flight leaves in 3 days. What time's your flight?
4 days, 6:50
Sir,
a.m.
you can get your money exchanged at the airport.
Oh, no. I've just realised I'm going to Turkey. I need Turkish liras.
Okay.
Sorry, can we reverse that,
I'll work
please?
out what to do here.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to give you, sir, the Turkish lira.
From him?
Yes.
But
Where are you going?
well, I guess Turkey now.
Have a great flight.
Thank you so much, and thanks for the ticket as well.
So in patch 1, we also decided to discuss automation. And I had a very rubbish, so rubbish was my story, almost a Monotoly level story about a friend of mine who was worried about robots taking jobs, but he was worried that he would encounter a robot at the job. So physically they'd replace a human with a robot. I thought that was an interesting story in 2017. Listen.
It was a funny, weird thing. And listening back to it, I was like, we gave you nothing off the back of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have jumped on that and gone all over it. Instead, we went, yes, Christian.
Yep. And I just wanted to apologise to you both for that story.
Oh, no, I think it was fine.
Who was the friend, Christian? What was their name?
Well, listen, Dion, in those days, we just came up with stories, didn't we?
Because I was going to say, we've actually got Mark on the line here, Christian. So that was a made-up story that was a bad story. God, that takes a little bit of effort, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think it was a thought. If I remember back, it was a thought that I had whilst reading the article. And then I thought, I'll just pretend it's a friend of mine, as you do with comedy.
But we did talk about automation and stuff. And one thing we talked about was the future of, I think, transport it was.
But the thing I was thinking is with jobs in the future, like with driverless cars, because that's really, that's coming on very soon. I reckon we'll get to a point where Uber, they're going to become the new taxis. And so it'll get to the point where they're not pivoting and they're not moving their business to driverless. And then they'll start writing, you can't let driverless cars.
So what's post-driverless?
Post-driverless.
What's post-driverless? Driverless car. What happens then?
Oh, that's
Transport.
Flying.
That's
Transport
flying.
tubes.
Just people flying.
flying.
With nothing, with no aid. No aid. People without aids flying.
So Uber, it's so funny to think back for only 5 years ago, and it's kind of gone to shit now, I feel like.
Wait, you said that the other day and I didn't get it. Has Uber gone to shit?
Yeah.
Why has it gone to shit?
Reputationally.
Halcyon days, jump in, mince and water, every day of the week. Remember that?
Hang on, is there anything else other than mince and water?
Remember that?
I thought you were saying minson and water.
No. Mince. Maybe you saw every Uber you get into, you get mince and you get water, and it's like, oh my God, Uber's incredible.
Is
Yes.
there a single Uber driver in the world that misinterpreted mince to mean beef mince? Has it happened? One in the world.
Like,
Would one in the world?
I keep getting 1 star. I don't know why.
Surely.
Get the mince out of your car.
Do you want a hamburger, sir?
But yeah, because I was thinking, really the tide's turned a bit and everyone's like almost going back to cabs now because the prices have gone up on Uber massively.
I couldn't believe it. I actually installed the 13 Cabs app. I was like, it's half the price of an Uber.
I did the same. I couldn't get a cab.
Oh, there
Couldn't
you
get a
go.
cab. Because but the beautiful thing about a cab is hailing it. That's the bit that I miss. I think.
Yeah, right. Because I think there was I saw billboards and stuff of them trying to promote that.
Hailing a cab.
Of to be like, how easy is it to get a cab? You just wave on the street and get a cab.
It's just not. It's just not
It's
that.
just not,
Because
yeah.
when do I need a cab? It's normally at about 2:33 in the morning, and I'm a dark-featured male.
Yeah.
Slightly heavier set, as we discussed earlier.
a skinhead.
Sounds perfect.
A taxi doesn't stop for me. When it does, I say, I'm going north. And they say, I live west. And I go, cool, it's your job to take me home.
Josh, what do you think of people who don't understand the light system on taxis? What do you
it's pretty
think of them?
straightforward. It's pretty straightforward.
It is, isn't it?
Light
Yeah.
on, light off, right? Light goes on, light goes off.
But why can't Ubers have a similar system? Why can't you hail an Uber?
Oh, because it's all done through the app. You got to pick up the thing.
Why? You enter a PIN.
Well,
Come on, this is the future. Uber.
But the thing that hasn't quite reached our shores yet, really, I think, is the automated driving and stuff, which we sort of touched on. I think that it feels like more in the States, it's kind of coming on a bit quicker. But here, I don't think so. And I was thinking about other things in the last 5 years that have sort of changed a bit in those ways, and it's kind of a form of automation, particularly at the supermarket. We're really moving towards more self-service.
Oh, God.
Like, get rid of the people.
What a
You're doing
win.
your own one, and now we've got full size registers
Yes.
for you to do it all yourself now.
It's
and it's just been this
unbelievable.
little slow thing of like, we're not automating it, we're letting you do the work.
But wait, you prefer that, Christian?
I love it.
You like people being out of jobs?
Yes.
No, you love conveyor belts. That's what you love.
I like the feeling of making the product go beep.
That's it.
Product
Basically, because that's a very rewarding feeling. I always, growing up, I used to watch the people working at the checkout and go, fuck, that looks fun. And being able to put everything in the bag looks very fun.
Wow.
Sorry, Josh, I didn't do it as a job, so it hasn't ruined the idea for me, okay?
And the other thing I realized, mainly due to COVID, is the QR code at the table. So you're not even getting that service. It's like you don't have a waiter coming around or someone coming around. You don't have to go up. So we've kind of automated that.
Love
in a way.
that too. And Dion, I don't care that people are losing their jobs. Let's just get a universal basic income for everyone.
Oh, well, that's a good point. And is that coming, Christian? Is that something that's automated?
I mean, it's a platform.
Oh, speaking of the future, I'd bloody love a 4-day week. Bloody hell.
Just from 7 to 4. What days would you keep?
Great.
What would I
great.
keep? I'd have a gap in the middle, a little gap week.
What do you mean?
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I reckon.
Monday,
Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, yuck. Yuck.
Surely, if you're just going to be in a utopia,
Yeah.
it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No, Josh.
No, Saturday,
Let's
Sunday,
be
Monday.
pragmatic about
Off.
this. It's a 4-day week. 3 of them you have to work. 1 of them you get off. Okay?
Oh.
It's a 4-day week now.
So wait, God created the world in how many days?
I'm taking Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Wait, why have you thought about this?
Because that's the podcast.
But you're ditching Sunday,
Yeah,
the traditional day of rest.
No, get rid of Sunday.
Penalty rates. Penalty rates.
Since when was Sunday ever a day of rest? Sunday is a day of stress to realize how many things you can't get done in your ordinary work
For
week.
work that you hate.
Yes.
This is so dumb. I was going to ask Christian, what day would you designate get penalty rates? That is just so stupid.
I reckon if I had to have 4 days, I'd just go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're continually rolling into that weekend.
So you're working on Saturday?
Yeah, I do that anyway.
Josh, you're not everyone.
Yeah, I know, but I like the idea of constantly, you start at Thursday, be like, weekend's nearly here, fellas, every single week.
Yes, but Saturday is the weekend in mind. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you have something to look forward to. On Monday, it's Monday.
Why are you keeping Monday? I can't get over that.
Because you need the downs to get the ups.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
So you want a shit day.
No, I reckon if you think about this, I don't think you want the Monday. No one wants the
I
Monday.
do.
Cut the Monday out.
I want the Monday to feel shit. I want the Wednesday to be like, I'm almost there. Give me the Friday because I barely do anything. Then give me the Saturday.
if you were stranded on a desert island, what day would you choose?
I like the idea of your noses take that where you go into the tank and you could live the perfect simulated life. You're like definitely, no, I need Mondays to be shit.
What's interested me over the last 5 years is seeing how my attitude towards work has actually changed. And now, because I'm in a period of being unemployed right now, I'm going overseas soon. I quit my job. Just letting you all know. I didn't realize how much I valued work. I didn't realize what an important role it played in my life in giving me that balance to my routine.
It's so interesting, Christian. When you say that, it makes me think, am I not in the right vocation? Because I like my work and I enjoy it, but I don't derive heaps of meaning from it or purpose from it. But does that mean that I'm not getting what I should be getting out of it?
Where I realized I got value was being productive and being useful to others.
Oh, that's nice.
Because when you don't have that in the day, and it's, you know what? It's probably just me not being able to enjoy the time off. I don't understand how to make myself feel like
Mr. I want Monday over here.
Yeah. Give me the worst day of the week.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I totally appreciate that. There are other times when I've had time off work and you're not working, you really got to, I feel you have to be doing stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing stuff for yourself, you're like, I'm a lazy piece of shit just sitting here watching stuff all day. Like,
Yes.
that is fine to do. And you kind of almost need to make that okay in your own mind. Be like, it's fine to do. That's what kind of COVID was interesting for.
Yeah.
Of like when I was really sick with that, being like, yeah, there's no expectation to do anything right now.
Yeah.
You can just sit around and do stuff and it's completely fine.
But it's really interesting because I realized how ingrained that is in me, the sense of needing to feel productive. And I don't think it's healthy, but it's so ingrained in me that when I'm not doing that, when I'm not employed and being productive, I go, oh, okay, you're useless.
So you're going overseas. You're not going to be thinking about work overseas. Are
No,
you?
because
No.
because overseas is this beautiful, 3-week period where it's like, hey, this is your time off. You're somewhere else. Go and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
This is your Saturdays and your Sundays.
Yes. but when you're unemployed and at home and it's a Monday, it's a Monday.
Yeah. And you can keep busy, but you can't keep busy indefinitely.
Yes.
There's a point where you've cleaned up everything, everything's done. He's like, all right, what's next? I
Yeah.
don't know what next is.
Yes.
I'm going to get depressed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can-
and that keeps you busy.
Yeah, because I find I don't consciously chase it, but I definitely notice when I am quite busy, there's just an energy to my life that feels really good. And I'm not like, I don't always want to be busy. And that's what I'm kind of got at the moment. Like I've got a bunch of other work at the moment. I'm like, there'll be like next week, there'll be like a week or so off. And I'm like, I'm cool with that. And I really like that. And then you're sort of searching for the next thing. But it's, yeah, for me, I feel okay not doing stuff, but so long as you know what's on the horizon, there's stuff coming. The thing that I couldn't handle is like the treadmill of every week going to the same place and you knowing it's there next week and it's never going to stop. That's what really I hate it.
I get it, and it's the most popular thing in the world to do.
Yeah,
like just going back
popular.
to the same. Yeah, popular, most done thing.
It's the most downloaded app in the world.
In episode 1, we had the idea of doing a roast of the week, and we were going to do it every week. It only lasted 1 week. But for episode 101, we're going to be doing a roast of the week. This week's roast is a roast rack of lamb.
That rack's looking really juicy, Dion. Good job.
Yeah.
Have you basted that?
Have I what?
You said have you basted it?
Yeah, I think so. It's got a base underneath. Looks delicious.
Have you marinated it?
Oh, yeah. I'm the best marinator in the world.
I'm salivating a lot just smelling
smells
that.
great.
Yeah.
Wait, in episode 1, did it go for this long? I thought it was 2 seconds.
I actually don't think you should leave the oven door open this long.
Sorry.
Very hot. Very hot.
All right, let's close that up.
Another thing we spoke about way back when was the word Doyen came up, and none of us really quite knew what it was, and we sort of fumbled our way through. I think I was fairly accurate. It's like I haven't learned anything for 5 years. Like it's kind of top of the field, like best in class kind of thing, the Doyen or whatever.
Sure. And I don't think I've used Doyen since patch
No.
1.
Oh, no. And why would you?
Well, let's hear how we used Doyen back in patch 1.
Could I ask?
Yeah, sure.
What are you both doyens of?
I'll tell you what I'm a doyen at, mate.
Eating a pie.
No, overtaking trams. I'm really good at it.
Wow.
I pick my gap and I go for it.
You can't be a doyen to
Yes,
overtake
you
trams.
You don't even know what the fucking word means.
Jeez, I reckon that is perfect doyen. You know what? It doesn't matter what doyen means. That Josh is doyen.
You know what? I reckon that's perfect doyen.
You're doyen it right, mate.
You shook your head. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I was just reminiscing on how many conversations I've had to save with my humour.
But the question begs to be asked: what are we Doyens of now? Has something cropped up in the last 5 years?
I mean,
Dion.
I think it's pretty clear to me that it's seafood.
You're the Doyen of seafood.
I'm the doyen of seafood.
Wow.
I cook very, very good seafood. Doyen, another word in this context for chef, I guess. But my seafood, I cook a wide range
Doyen
of seafood.
Dion.
Doyen Dion. Give me mussels, scallops, whole fish. I'm the doyen of fish. I'm the doyen of the sea.
Can I ask you, what about shucking oysters?
I don't know what that means. Because you just,
I imagine the doyen would know how to shuck an oyster.
Sorry, who said that? Josh, of course I know what it means. Shucking an oyster? Yeah, I think I just eat oysters. I don't need to shuck oysters.
You
They're
shuck
already
them over your right shoulder.
I was going to say, I imagine Dion gets confused. He's like, yeah.
No, I just know. I know the length of time to cook seafood for. I know the marinades to use. I know what works, and I'm just a fish is just it's a beautiful thing.
What's your top fish?
Just rainbow trout at the moment.
Rainbow trout.
Just delicious, and I'll cook for any patchworker that wants me to.
No, thank you. What? And give me your marinade.
It's very simple, and I'm not willing to give it away.
Oh,
No,
really?
I'll give it away.
Doyen keeps his secrets.
No, it's very simple. It's just like garlic oil and soy sauce and a bit of maple syrup and some like herbs and spices.
Sorry,
Dion's
he
hands-
started that. He started that by saying it's very simple.
Yeah. Also, make sure that you're watching this on YouTube if you get the chance, because Doyen is basically, you're conducting an orchestra as you're taking us through this.
It's just I was making the fish as we speak. Yeah. And put it in the oven. We did the segment the wrong way around.
Roast of the week. Christian, what are you Doyen of these days?
I think that I have become the doyen of remembering to take photos when I'm out with a group of friends.
Very good.
Because so many friends commented, they go, we don't have enough photos together. We don't have all the group together, blah, blah. And I have made every single time I go out and I'm like, this is one of those settings. Just a couple, just take it out really quickly. Doesn't have to be great, but capturing the environment and the people
Feel
there.
the mood.
That's it.
And never looking at it again.
No.
You
Well,
really don't nowadays, do you?
Well,
you take
maybe
the
not-
photo, goes up to the cloud, and you can't get it out from the clouds.
maybe not now, but in 20
That's
years'
true.
time, when you're looking back, you want to have something to look back on, right?
Because I've thought about that as a genuine thing. The next time we have a house party, I haven't done it, but I've been thinking about it, is just paying a friend, maybe like get him a bottle or something
That's
for
a
the
nice
night and
idea.
go, hey, can you just make sure you get around and take a photo of everyone who's at the party?
That's a lovely idea. I do think that I forever think that photos when you're looking straight at the camera is weird. And it came from the thought that when I look at newsreaders and how newsreaders present the news and they're just looking straight down the barrel of the camera, I feel like at one point they decided that they wanted to talk straight to the people that were watching. And do you know what I mean? It's weird looking straight at a camera and
yes.
engaging with the camera.
So you want the news to be sort of off-centered, turned over the shoulder.
Oh, like they're
delivered
talking,
used
like
that
they're
way.
talking to a friend.
maybe just talking to each other.
I love that idea. I love
great
that
idea.
so much. It's like, oh, actually, do you know what I learned? Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Did you hear that another truck hit in Montague Street Bridge? Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah, wow.
really? I mean, they should really.
Sorry, guys, just to give us a minute.
But it'd be much better to see them interacting with each other than looking down a lens. There's got to be a better thing. It's got to be.
yeah.
Maybe it's automation. Maybe it's what we talk stuff in the future. I want to look at something more interesting than a lens when I'm getting a photo taken.
Sound like a baby or a cat.
No, but it
people
should-
forget those things on their phones.
It should be
Yeah.
something. Why aren't I looking at something that makes me smile? A lens
What are
doesn't
you
make you
talking
smile.
about?
Well,
What are you
that means they
talking
have to
about?
cater the lens to every single individual.
No, a lens with a smile.
Well, they have auto cue at the news. That's what they're looking at. That's what they're reading.
I'm talking about party photo, Josh.
okay.
Okay, so
Dion wants a
Dion
little
wants-
furry toy on the end of the phone.
No.
No,
Okay?
He wants
something.
He wants the exact same thing. He wants the auto cue in front of the lens, but it has to tell a joke.
Oh no! A joke could be a thing. Or what about like a
He liked that idea.
no, like a beautiful mountain landscape.
What are you talking
No, because if you think about it, when we did a photo shoot for this new logo that we've got, we did a photo shoot, and you have to try and make like the energy yourself. Whereas if you're looking at different scenes, like maybe it's someone giving money to the homeless in the
so
lens,
strange.
and you get, or maybe it's
like a small. Oh, surely
Okay.
it's puppies and kittens
Yeah,
at that point.
exactly.
I'm moving towards Dion now.
Okay, and so if you're doing like a sad photo shoot or something, you want some really depressing images.
That's granddad.
Okay.
Before the dementia.
And so like a sexy shoot, you're getting a little titillating on there, right?
We don't want to get into that. We've got
Okay.
young listeners.
Patchwork under the covers.
That is something we'll do one day. Patch 1000 we'll do it on.
Guaranteed.
But yeah, just something, there's got to be something there that evokes more than a lens
So
evokes.
what, in a party atmosphere where it's just a friendly snap of friends,
Yeah.
what mood are you trying to evoke with your imagery there? that you wanna
Happiness.
see?
I don't think the lens needs to come out on that sort of occasion.
So, but if it did, you want something that just makes you happy
I
generally.
think so, yeah.
Like a big cooked fish.
Something like that.
Oh wow, yeah.
Big cook fish lens. Fisheye lens.
Thank you.
We did it.
And Josh, what are you doyen of now?
I'm still pretty good at overtaking the trams, but I'm driving a lot less these days. That's something I noticed that's changed over the last 5 years. It's been interesting. So that skill's got a bit rusty because I'm not really fighting my way through traffic so
Can
much.
I just say, I've always enjoyed. I've said it before. Always enjoyed sitting in the car with you.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. That means heaps.
It does,
But
doesn't
I think,
it?
yeah, it's great. It feels real good. I think though, Doyen wise, I've recently really decided I'm very good at falling asleep in unusual spots and locations. And I get people always say, I don't know how you do it. So I think I am Doyen.
Wow.
It must be something about switching your mind off. Like, are you doing it with headphones on?
Often a nice calming podcast in.
wow.
Is pretty good.
Wait, in a car, in a bus?
In a car, tram's great. Pop my knees up, get the weird little dinky seat at the end.
I tell you what, that's the best Doyen I've ever heard. That's unbelievable. What a gift.
Yeah, it's pretty great on all flights and stuff as well.
Maybe we should do a doyen of the week.
What?
Something that we've done particularly well.
Hey,
for
we
each
already got
patch.
roast of the week. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
And that's a lock.
We don't even do this podcast weekly.
Josh, was that something that you did as a kid as well? You're able to fall asleep whenever?
I think so. Oh, I don't know about falling asleep whenever, but definitely I squash into spaces that aren't really comfortable for normal people, and be like, I found a little nook here, little cranny here, and I'm comfortable.
What is a nook and what is a cranny? The hell's a cranny?
They sound like they're family.
Surely a nook is two angles meeting.
Okay.
Say
and
like a corner of a wall.
Yeah,
That's a
and a
nook.
cranny.
Yeah, now let's get on to
What's a
cranny.
cranny?
Yeah.
Is that a gap? A tiny gap? Like if you're in the cinemas.
Like a crevice.
Yeah.
I'm imagining a cranny is a crevice.
Yeah, let's go
The
with that.
synonyms.
Nook and cranny. That's the last scene.
That's it. That's all I've got.
Really, really good. You know what's really, really good? Really, really good. You know what's really, really good?
Now, of course, it's time for Really Good. That's happened in the very first episode. Now, keep in mind, these are classic vintage Really Goods. We've done so many Really Goods.
Too many.
Yeah, it is so tough to come up with new ones that we let you guys do it in recent seasons. But right back in episode 1, we had some absolute classics and we're going to revisit those. So guys, you know what's really good? Getting home just before it rains.
Oh,
really good.
Really good. Do you know what's really good? Going overseas and not bumping into any Australians.
Oh, really good.
Really bloody good.
Really good.
Do you know what's really good? Seeing the female counterpart of one of your best male friends.
Oh,
really good.
Really good. Really good. You know what's really good? Bringing all the shopping in from the car in one go.
really vintage, really
Josh,
good.
Really good.
Do you know what's really good? When you book tickets online through a website that doesn't charge an exorbitant booking fee.
Oh,
really
vintage,
good.
vintage, really good.
Vintage.
Classic,
Really
classic.
good. El Clasica good.
Do you know what's really good? When you grab a highlighter that hasn't been used for ages and it fucking works straight away.
Oh, really good. Really good. You know what's Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Welcome to Patchwork. I bet you both missed that phrase like nothing else.
I have. It's one of my favourite parts of this podcast.
Because I know it's finishing.
That was super, super fun. It's been so good getting back into it. Thank you so much for your support. Patch 101. What's next? 102. And we have some big surprises for you? We've got guests. We don't have any of that, but we've got some cool little surprises. You'll find that out in the next patch in a couple of weeks' time.
I had so much fun. It was so great to be back here with you guys. It's really exciting to be going into a new season.
Yep.
Great little recap to revisit and remember. But yeah, really excited for the next 100.
It's also nice to see, I think back to patch 1, sitting around, we had a weird table, the walls were blank, and now I look around and we've got fancy lights and clouds. It's nice. That's it. Fancy lights and clouds.
We have social media.
Of course, we have social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have a Patreon.
And TikTok.
And TikTok. Oh, yes.
TikTok.
Welcome to Patchwork. You can find us on TikTok. We post stuff on there. If you want to become a Patreon, you get bonus episodes. And they're going to be great this year. So good.
Oh, my God.
And as we do every week, since we started Welcome to Patchwork, we sew a new patch into our quilt of friendship. Josh, what patch did you sew into our quilt this week?
Thank you, Dion. My patch this week was you inviting Joe the hairdresser over for dinner and serving him rainbow trout basted in hair gel. Christian, what patch did you sew this week?
Thank you, Josh. This week I sewed into my patch Christian's Desert Island Getaway, where every day is a Monday. And Dion, what did you sew into your patch this week?
My patch this week is Christian announcing in patch 200 that he's now the doyen of short torsos. Thank you for listening to Welcome to Patchwork for another week. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
Goodbye.
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 You know what I'm trying to get into? Hot chocolates. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm getting into? Dirty chai.
Dirty chai.
Oh my God, that's hot.
What makes it? Is that a cute thing or is it a real thing? A dirty chai?
No, it's a real thing. It's a chai with a shot of coffee in it.
Oh!
Okay, well, I'll lead you in.